There are movies you watch for entertainment, and then there are movies like Heaven Sent, stories that reach deep into your heart, stir your emotions, and leave you questioning life, love, and purpose. This is not just another Nollywood drama, this is a story about divine timing, second chances, and the unexpected ways God answers prayers, a story born in pain and desperation. Heaven Sent opens with two completely different lives, yet both weighed down by struggle. On one side, we meet Aurelia, a young woman barely holding herself together. She is jobless, deep in debt, on the verge of eviction, emotionally exhausted. Her prayers are not fancy, they are raw, desperate cries for help. On the other side is Benita, a mother facing the most painful reality anyone can imagine. She is dying. Not gradually, not uncertainly, but with a clear understanding that her time is running out. But her greatest fear isn't death, it's leaving her daughter, 7, behind in a world without love. The moment that changed everything, their paths cross in a chapel, two strangers, both crying out to God for help. What happens next is shocking, emotional, and almost unbelievable. Benita, sensing something divine about Aurelia, makes a request that defies logic. She asks her to marry her ex-husband and take care of her daughter. At first, it sounds absurd, even uncomfortable. But as the story unfolds, you begin to understand something deeper. Sometimes God answers prayers in ways that don't make sense at first. Reginald, a man who had everything except what mattered. Enter Reginald, Benita's ex-husband, a powerful CEO, wealthy, respected, and successful. But beneath all that success lies a painful truth. He was never present as a father. He failed his marriage. He prioritized work and pleasure over family. His daughter, 7, doesn't see him as a safe place. She sees him as someone distant, even frightening. And his relationship with his longtime girlfriend, Osis, only makes things worse. Osis, love that feels like control. Osis represents a kind of love that is often mistaken for devotion but is actually rooted in self-interest and control. She has stood by Reginald for years. But her loyalty comes with expectations. She wants to be first, she wants control, she wants recognition. And when Aurelia enters the picture, Osa sees her not as a helper but as a threat. Her insecurity begins to reveal her true nature, especially in how she treats little 7. 7, the heart of the story. 7 is not just a child in this story, she is the emotional center of it. Through her eyes, we see the pain of neglect, the confusion of broken relationships, the longing for genuine love. She is scared of her father. She misses her mother. And she feels invisible in a world full of adults who are too busy with their own problems. But everything changes when Aurelia steps into her life. Aurelia, the true meaning of Heaven Sent. Aurelia is not perfect. She is not rich. She is not powerful. But she has something far more important, a pure heart and unwavering faith. Despite her own struggles, she chooses to care for 7. Speak life into a broken home, stand firm in faith even when things look impossible. She doesn't step in for money even when offered millions. She steps in because she believes she was placed there for a purpose. And slowly, her presence begins to transform everyone around her. Transformation and redemption. One of the most powerful aspects of this movie is Reginald's transformation. At first, he is dismissive, emotionally distant, unaware of his failures, but through Aurelia and 7, he begins to change. He starts to listen, show up, take responsibility, and for the first time, he confronts the truth. He failed as a father. That realization breaks him, but it also rebuilds him. Faith as the driving force. Faith is not just a theme in this movie, it is the backbone of the story. When doctors lose hope for Benita, Aurelia does not. She prays relentlessly, fasts with conviction, believes beyond logic even when others doubt. She holds on. And then the unexpected happens. The miracle that changes everything in a moment that feels both emotional and spiritual. Benita begins to recover. Doctors cannot explain it. Science has no answer. But for Aurelia, it's simple. God showed up. This moment is not just about healing, it is about faith rewarded. Hope restored, purpose fulfilled, letting go of what no longer serves you. As Reginald grows, he realizes something else. His relationship with Osis is no longer aligned with who he wants to become. For years, he stayed out of habit, comfort, and obligation. But growth requires difficult decisions. And so he chooses his daughter, his responsibility, his new path over a relationship that no longer serves him. A love that grows naturally. Unlike many rushed love stories, the connection between Aurelia and Reginald developed slowly and meaningfully. It's not built on attraction alone. It grows through shared responsibility, mutual respect, emotional healing. By the time love finally surfaces, it feels genuine and earned. A family rebuilt at its core. Heaven Sent is about family. Not the perfect kind, but the kind that learns, grows, heals. 7, once fearful and lonely, begins to feel safe. Reginald, once absent, becomes present. And Aurelia, once lost, finds purpose. Lessons from Heaven Sent. This movie leaves you with powerful life lessons. 1. God's plans don't always make sense at first. Sometimes the most unexpected paths lead to the greatest purpose. 2. Love is shown through actions. Being present matters more than providing money. 3. Children see everything. How you treat them shapes their world. 4. Growth requires letting go. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. 5. Faith can move mountains even when all hope seems lost. Final verdict. Heaven Sent is an emotional roller coaster that blends family drama, romance, faith, redemption into one unforgettable story. It's the kind of movie that will make you cry, make you reflect, and maybe even strengthen your faith rating. 4.5. A deeply touching Nollywood film that proves sometimes the people who change our lives the most are the ones we never expected. Call to action. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe to Flicks and Feels for more emotional and insightful